Chapter 20, The Path. Verse 273. Best of paths is the eightfold. The four truths are the best of truths. Purity is the best state. Best of men is the seer. Verse 274. This is the way. There is none other that leads to the seeing of purity. Do you follow this path? That is to befool Mara. Verse 275. Traveling by this way you end your grief. It is the way I preached when I learned to throw off my bonds. Verse 276. 'Tis you who must survive. The blessed ones are only preachers. They who strive and meditate are freed from Mara's bonds. Verse 277. All is passing. When one sees and realizes this, he sits loose to this world of sorrow. This is the way of purity. Verse 278. All is sorrow. When one sees and realizes this, he sits loose to this world of sorrow. This is the way of purity. Verse 279. All is unreal. When one sees and realizes this, he sits loose to this world of sorrow. This is the way of purity. Verse 280. He who fails to strive when 'tis time to strive, young and strong though he be, slothful and enmeshed in lust, the sluggard never finds the path to wisdom. Verse 281. Whoso guards his tongue and controls his mind and does nothing wrong, keeping clear these three paths, he will achieve the way shown by the wise. Verse 282. From meditation springs wisdom, from neglect of it the loss of wisdom. Knowing this path of progress and decline, choose the way that leads to the growth of wisdom. Verse 283. Cut down the jungle, for from the jungle of lust springs fear, and if you cut it down, you will be disentangled, O bhikkhus. Verse 284. Whilst the entanglement of a man with a woman is not utterly cut away, he is in bondage, running to her as a sucking calf to the cow. Verse 285. Pluck out the bond of self as one pulls up an autumn lotus. Forge thy way along the path of safety, nirvana, shown by the blessed. Verse 286. Here will I pass the wet season, here the winter and summer, thinks the fool, unmindful of what may befall. Verse 287. Then comes death and sweeps him away, infatuated with children and cattle, and entangled with the world's goods, as a flood carries off a sleeping village. Verse 288. There is no safety in sons, or in father, or in kinsfolk when death overshadows thee. Amongst thine own kith and kin is no refuge. Verse 289. Knowing this clearly, the wise and righteous man straightway clears the road that leads to nirvana. These are the words of the Buddha.